Now, welcome to a review of the second episode of The Penguin on Max, where we will once again kick it off with your thoughts on this one.
I think the show is only getting better. I think the bigger picture is coming more into light. The plans within plans are growing. I've been having a great time with this show.
No, I agree. I think it's, again, like we talked about in the first episode, the writing is exceptional. The characterization, motivations, you see it all. It's complex, but not to the point where you're like, who's that? How does he fit into the picture?
Well, it's great that we're seeing it, and then they're delving deeper and deeper into each character. We even saw, like, the character of the mom. She showed up again this week. And now we found out what's wrong with her, that she's got dementia. The dementia's getting worse. He's paying off, like, the landlord.
Yeah.
To keep an eye on her, to protect her, because he's doing so much for his mom. The relationship between him and his mom, we knew he was soft on his mom, that he loved her, and you could see the care he has for his mom. But then when she said, you know what, if my son is a nothing, what am I? I was like, ouch,
that's harsh.
That hurts.
Yeah, that's just a brutal thing for a mother to say.
That's part of the motivation you can see driving him, the fact that his other brothers are dead. And so he's his everything to his mom. And if he's nothing, she's nothing. And I love how they're portraying it, that it's done well, it's beautiful. You see it from all sides. You can relate to what the mother's feeling in a way. You can relate to the son, which is in the case Ozzy. And it's just so interesting to watch it unfold. And it's just a small piece of Penguin's identity. Because we also remember the story of the mob boss when he was a kid who...
Yeah. Who was nice to the people. Yeah.
That he took this job for Falcone when he was a kid, and I'm training up. I'm going to be part of the family, and I didn't know how to drive a car, so I learned how to drive a car.
It's clever backstory. It's not like this exposition dump of like, here's his entire life story. You get little pieces of it, and if you're paying attention, you can put it all together, and you can see the step by step that he takes to become what he is today.
And then you have to wonder, is he ever, his relationship with Victor is kind of almost a father-son or a master and apprentice type relationship.
It is. You can see he wants him to go. He wants him to go down the same steps he did.
Right. He's trying to help him. He thinks in his own way he's helping him.
Well, he doesn't know anything better, right?
Exactly.
That's been his whole life.
But his lessons are so sharp.
Well, yeah, you learn it or you die.
Lay down with the corpses there.
Well, I mean, it's not wrong that the line of work he is getting into is you get it right or you die, and sometimes you probably get it right and you still die.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Even though he failed, he didn't get killed.
No, but he wanted him to know that is usually the result.
This is the penalty. This is what happens.
Well, not even the penalty, but usually the result of screwing up in this line of work is you're dead. And like even in this episode, like I was just saying, like sometimes you're completely innocent and you get framed or set up and you get whacked.
Yeah.
Which is what Penguin did so brilliantly. Like
he thinks on his feet. He is so smart.
Yeah. Well, at first I'm like, why would he keep the weapon? Why do you got the knife? What are you doing? Like if they happen to search you,
But then he had to set up somebody.
Yeah, and then he, I can't remember the guy's name, but kind of the second in command there.
The underboss, Vivi?
There it is. He kind of blames him at first, and then I'm like, he's going to put the knife on him, but they're going to be like, well, you just kind of
had a conversation where he wasn't able to get the jewels in his car.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you kind of tussled with him. You could have slipped a knife on him, but what he does is he slips it on the guy next to him, essentially.
Yeah.
Which makes it seem like, that there's no foul play. It's brilliant. I love that kind of writing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because no one's going to suspect that he planted the weapon on somebody who wasn't in the fight.
Yeah, but if you planted the weapon on the guy you literally just kind of roughed up or whatever, you had a little tussle with, whatever you want to call it, you'd be like, well...
And then he went and he got the gems from Victor, who failed at planting them on the right person, and he planted them on the one he planted the other piece of evidence on, who was already killed. So he still didn't need to make those show up, and he did anyway to further incriminate him to back up his claims.
Yeah, and now Sophie trusts him. Seems to. Yeah. I mean, as much as you can probably trust anybody in this
let's dance.
This field. I like that. That
went
tied right back to the story. Like it's just
the nuances, the rewards for making sure you're paying attention to what they are talking about are beautifully done.
Well, even there are, despite this being a villain story, speaking of the dancing, like that's a pretty profound message. Like you can either live in misery because something tragic happened to your sons in this particular case, or you can dance. You can try to live life again. Pick yourself
back up and try and move forward, seeing the bright side of things, seeing that you're still here. Your other son, he's still here. Yeah. She picked herself up, she went forward, and he's trying to give Sophie the same message.
Yeah, because it connects with her.
Resonating with her.
Exactly, because she heard the story, and she's like, yeah, you're right. I continue to be tortured by my past and the people who talk crap about me because I killed 7 people. Or
7
I can
women.
dance. 7 women, yes.
She is the murderer of women.
Women, yes.
Which is interesting because when he had this when Penguin had that conversation with Eve back at his house, she was like, I don't want to be on Sophie's radar because she knows Sophie killed women.
Well, yeah, I would, even as a guy, I wouldn't. I mean, she was going to kill number 8 right there until...
Give me your gun.
Give me your gun. But yeah, that would have been broken her streak of women. Though she may have killed men in there too. We don't know her history, but
not yet. But we're getting there. We're getting there. And I like that they're peeling it back slowly. We know she was in Arkham. We know she did bad stuff, and that they probably pulled strings to get her out.
Oh yeah.
I liked that at the funeral because you just think, oh, they're just gonna go to the funeral, blah blah blah. They had the mob, the angry mob outside. Oh, get the hangman back in jail. This is a family of crooks.
And you would too.
Yeah.
You let someone out who killed 7 people. Yeah. You're going to get some angry, especially the families of those 7 people.
I like that Penguin shows up late, and what does he do? He blends into the crowd seamlessly. He knows exactly the things to say to sneak and slime himself in there. And, oh yeah, I was here the whole time. I was in the back. You didn't see me?
Yeah.
What do you think of what they said like this? Yeah, he would have hated this type of funeral. Yeah.
Yep.
He knows what to say. And it's brilliant that he always seems to know what to say.
And perhaps the best part of the show so far is the tension, because you really, it's not like the hero show. It's not like this is Batman and where we know, well, nothing bad is really going to happen to Batman.
And most of the good people aren't going to be hurt too bad because they're good people.
You always feel like that tension, like you're kind of walking on eggshells, because, not that Penguin would die in episode 2, but he could die in the end. We don't know if he succeeds or fails. This could be a tragic story for him. Now, probably going to live, but you feel that tension.
But he doesn't have to, because they could set up Sophie as the next big crime boss in Gotham.
Exactly.
All they're doing is giving us backstory to whatever the next, Batman movie's going to be. Penguin might not be the next big villain in Batman, but they're showing us the underbelly of the city, what's happening. So going into that movie, if they mention, Sophie Falcone or whatever is taking over, we understand that.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, you just feel that tension at all times. Like, when things going wrong, when he doesn't get the jewels in the car, you're like, oh, God, what is this going to... Is he going to get whacked for not...
I'm curious what the fallback on this with the Maronis is going to be, because they wanted him back.
Yeah,
they didn't want him dead. They wanted him back.
And they know who the rat is, so they know they probably know Penguin killed him, because they know there's no one in the Falcone family that's feeding them information, obviously. So they know the only one who would likely kill him to protect is Penguin. So it all points right back to him. So now he has to go. It's like, unless
he says, they tortured him, they killed him.
Fair enough.
He can easily.
But why would they kill him why would they kill him without getting the information?
He was so strong. He didn't give up anything in the family. He was honorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a complicated situation, though. That's what's so great about it. Like, every time one thing happens, another... It's like the clock, right? One wheel or gear turns and the other one's turning, too. That's what I love about the writing. It's not just this linear, one-dimensional, easy-to-figure-out story.
You've got to remember the dialogue.
Everything's turning, yeah.
Pay attention to what's being said. Pay attention to what's going on, because everything plays a role in the show, and that's great.
Yeah.
That's absolutely great.
Yeah, loving it so far.
On a side note,
I just wish more shows could be written, and I'm not.
You remember the detail I got super excited about when Penguin was at his house, had the girls over, had some of the guys over,
the safety,
and he goes into his room, and I'm looking at him like, that's a bank vault door.
And then you're like explaining to me how bank vaults work, and I'm like, well, if I'm going to break into one someday, I appreciate this information.
Well, not only that, but his room is lined with safety deposit boxes, because they have the double keys, which one key would go to the person who owns the box or renting the box. The other is the guard key that the bank holds onto to open the other lock.
You were very excited about that.
I was, because it's clever. If somebody breaks into his house and they're trying to shoot it up and let's kill the Penguin.
He's in his bedroom,
He's in a bank vault.
Yes.
They're not shooting through the bank vault.
No.
They might not be able to dynamite through that bank vault very easily.
No.
It's going to take them a while to get through the bank vault, in which case now he can escape out of one of the few windows in that room. Because there was one, maybe 2 windows in that room.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure he's got primed for escape, because Penguin is clever. Penguin's 5 steps ahead of everybody else, it seems. And then he's like, I've got all these bank safe deposit boxes, and he's got stuff stashed in them. And he's the one who knows which key goes to which box, and because those keys aren't marked.
Yeah, I wouldn't have noticed that. I mean, I noticed the room was weird because it was all kind of shiny and metal and all that, but I didn't realize
I was giddy.
You were really giddy, more than you should have been.
I'm like, he's in a safe deposit box room. He's in a vault. He's in a bank vault.
Yes.
And that's so clever for his character, because he's smart that way.
Yeah.
He's preparing for if something should happen, and he can get in that room and he can escape.
Yeah.
So clever. So clever. And I love that they're not making him a stupid villain. It's just great.
Well, it's nice to, yeah, I mean, like I said, villains are, your hero is only as heroic as the villain they defeat. And at this point, if Penguin does turn out to be one of the villains of the next Batman movie, like, Batman's got his hands full.
Well, by then he could have a new operation, a new drug going. Drops might be old news by then.
I mean, I feel like that's what they're setting up. I feel like not why do the show, because the show is good in and of itself. It doesn't have to even connect to Batman 2 or anything like that, but obviously it will. It's just a really good show. And it would be cool to see the Penguin in the next one, because we will like, wow, this guy is he's
still going places.
Yeah.
He's got plans.
Yeah.
He's smart enough to even evade the Batman and put another patsy down in front. Here's your breadcrumb trail, detective. Go get him.
That's right. And that is going to be all we got for you this time. Now it is your turn. Take to the comments below. Tell us what you thought of the second episode of The Penguin. And let's talk some DC. And until next time, thanks for watching.